I wish I could give you the tea, but mine's just a little bit tart, and that's why it's called Leah's Lemonade. And y'all, I'm excited to have the guest I have at the lemonade stand tonight because, honey, she is slaying all of the edges, all the way from Arlington, Virginia to the White House, y'all. I have Yene Damtew. Did I say it correctly?
You did.
Okay, and Yene, listen, I had to reach out because when I saw Michelle Obama's hair float down those steps of that inauguration, I must talk to the Black woman responsible for this slay. Do you know, and I'm sure you do, that laid and slayed were trending on Twitter because of Michelle Obama's hair?
I don't think I knew that Slade was trending. I did know that Laid was trending, and I was like, hey, this is wild.
And it's all because of your hands. So I had to talk to you. I had to get in touch because the DMV needs to know the talents that we have right here at home.
Well, it's at home, but I'm a Cali girl. So
you are a Cali girl, but you do service in the DMV.
I do, but I just gotta,
show love.
I gotta stay where I'm from.
Okay, period. And I get it. Cali, y'all hold it down, West Coast all day. And listen, I would travel to the West Coast for a lay and a slay like that. So I'm not mad whatsoever. So tell me about, doing Michelle Obama's hair, how that even got started. Because that's not the first time you've done her hair.
No, it's not. So I started working with the Obama family in 2009. Back when I was working with Johnny Wright, who was her previous hairstylist. And then in 2017, I took over and I've been here ever since.
Okay. Now let's talk about it because on social media, I saw a gift that had me weak. It had somebody with their hair wrapped and they said when Michelle turned on Pennsylvania Avenue, it got the body. So tell me like your thought process when you were doing her hair. Did you think it was going to be this moment on social media? You do her hair all the time.
No, I definitely didn't think it was going to be a moment at all. It was a look that I've created with her before. I don't know what it was about that moment. I've kind of shared this before, and I think that it's one of those things as an artist and as a creative, like you do your work. If you're a painter, if you're a makeup artist, if you're a hairstylist, you do it. And then you just, kind of cross your fingers and kind of just pray that it just kind of works out. and not even like that you don't know what you're doing. But for me, it was just kind of like, I did it. I was like, all right, girl, it's like, you got to go. All right, you got to go. And you just pray and hope. You take into consideration that it's all these different factors of elements and nature. And so you're just kind of like, I just hope that she looks great, and I hope that there isn't anything that happens between when you leave her and when she arrives to wherever she has to go. And so I definitely didn't think it was going to be a moment. I thought it was a regular day. I did her hair like I've done her hair in the past, and waited patiently behind the TV screens to watch inauguration like everybody else. But I would be lying if I said that when she walked out, I wasn't like, oh, okay, and I didn't, and I'd be lying if I didn't say that like there was that reaction as well as the reaction of like you're glued to the TV and then you take a step back and you're like, okay, all right, that's great, and then at that moment you let go of holding your breath and you give yourself a pat on the shoulder and you're like, all right,
okay, right. Until then, you open your phone and get on social media and the world is asking, who the hell slayed Michelle Obama's hair like this?
Yeah, and then there's that. And then for me, the reality was that I left and I went to go get my hair braided and I'm sitting in the braid shop and there's this continuous conversation that's like, her hair is laid, her hair is laid, her hair is laid. Like, and it was just like over and over and over. It was like a conversation. So I was like, oh, this is the thing. Like people are talking about her hair. Great. And then your timeline on social media, you start getting all these pings. My text messages started going off. And, my clients, they're loyal and they've always kind of like celebrated me and celebrated my work with Mrs. Obama. And at any time that they see her on screen, they're like, oh, she looks beautiful. So I got the text message, but I was like, something's different about today. This is like more than usual, more than I'm used to. Right. And then it was my client, Jumi, who was like, girl, I'm about to tweet that you did it because people are asking. And she was just like, it wasn't even that she asked. She was like, I'm doing it. And I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. Still then didn't think anything of it. And then the day continued and it just continued, and the recognition continued, and the love and the kind words and the memes and everything continued. And I was just kind of like, I think we just kind of went viral.
We did a moment.
I think we just had a moment. And at that point you're like, okay. And then it turned into, we had a moment. Oh my God, I had a moment. Oh my God. Wow, we had a moment. And then, just kind of letting it sink in and understand that it was a moment, and it was a very special moment, and that I had the privilege and honor to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, literally, and you can testify as a Black woman, when we see a look, it's a moment, you know what I'm saying? I think whether it was, Mika Harris's nephew with the Air Jordan Dior's, or it was Michelle Obama coming out in that monochromatic.
Yeah.
I mean, even with the mask, you knew she was fly. Like, even if the hair was just the final piece. It was the way that Bayang was floating down. I'm sitting because I'm seeing it. I started screaming, yes, Auntie Michelle. Yes. Yeah. Like, girl, your hands are magic.
Yeah.
I know your books are full.
They are. It's a blessing. And, with full transparency, I wasn't expecting this overwhelming response, and I'd be doing a disservice to the clients who've been rocking with us and my aesthetic salon family prior to this. We have been fortunate and blessed to have a loyal and consistent clientele, and our books have been we have been booked and busy, and that's a blessing, and we recognize that, but we also recognize that there's more women that would like to come in, and we are working hard and diligently to accommodate them. But it has been a lot. It has been a lot because for me, I am a perfectionist, and I like to I want my clients to have an experience, and I would like to ensure that everyone has a pleasant experience. So responding to emails, calling them, that is something that we do. We don't do online booking intentionally because that's part of the salon experience. And so being able to do that with hundreds of emails has been a bit challenging. And, that's not normally what most clients are used to today, that personal experience. So it has been, there has been a little frustration with people. And it's disappointing to me when people are frustrated because that's not what I want them to be. So literally, I'm still at the salon. I'm by myself. I have about 60 emails to go through for this evening, and I plan to go through them. But, it's an overwhelming response that it's just kind of like, okay, how do you manage?
Yeah.
And how do you not compromise what you've built, and how do you not compromise the service and the quality of the service, which is extremely important to me.
Well, I believe in God's divine timing because I
know
that you are opening another shop. So you see how he's making room for your second location to just.
No. And honestly, so I opened my second location in November.
Okay.
So we are in our second location, but even in the second location, I was just like, girl, we are booked now. And I gave away our last February appointment to one of our standing clients. And I'm just kind of like, I told the girls, I was like, all right, we're officially fully booked for February, ladies. So we do have a wait list, which again is a blessing. We are onboarding and training to other stylists and have been for several months now. But again, we just want to make sure that when there is a client that comes in and whoever they see, we just want to make sure that the quality of the service is consistent all across the board. And so working hard, being booked and busy. I do, and I tell people all the time, I'm like, none of this would have happened. I feel like the stars aligned. Like everything happened when it was supposed to be. I've worked with Mrs. Obama and her family for some time now, but for whatever reason, this was the moment. And I say that it was the moment because it was the moment where I was chosen and where God was like, okay, you are ready for this. You have the space, you have a larger salon, you have the team, you have experienced whatever it is, the ups, the downs, trials, the tribulations, the good, the bad, the ugly. And now you're ready to enjoy the harvest. So.
Well, and I love the fact that you are enjoying the harvest stage because let's be clear, you planted seeds. You started when you were 16 years old working out of your parents' home. So talk to me about the experience of, I'm sure the day you started doing hair at your parents' house, it never crossed your mind that you would ever touch, first of all, a first lady's head, but secondarily, the first Black first family of America's head. So talk to me about, you starting in the trenches at your parents' house and like elevating to where you are now.
Yeah, girl, the trenches, honey, it didn't just there in California. My trenches were definitely like starting in my parents' garage and convincing, Ethiopian American, first generation child of immigrants, like letting my parents not let me go to college, being okay with me going through a non-traditional route, that in itself was its own hurdle, trenches, and experience and journey. And so I'm grateful that I've surpassed that. I'm grateful that I was still able to get a college degree. I'm grateful that I am now working with our forever First Lady, Mrs. Obama. But aside from that, like even coming to DC, like I started here, I worked at if anybody listening remembers, back in the day at the Springfield Mall before they renovated it, there was a beauty supply store next to Macy's. And in the back of the beauty supply store, there were chairs. And I used to rent a chair back there. And then in the cut. And it was like, you used to see people walk by and it's like, you try to solicitate your services to them and maybe they'll come. And I still have those clients till this day, which is like, it is the fuzzy feel good moment. But yes, definitely started at a young age. Went to hair school when I was 16, started working in the salon when I was 18, relocated to DC when I was 21, and kind of just like hit the ground running. But it's important for people to recognize that this moment, the moment of recognition, is 12 years into the game. It's 12 years of hard work. And it's important to recognize that you don't just wake up and get here. I've been very fortunate. I've been very blessed for opportunities, the opportunity to work with the Obama family. If that wasn't for Johnny, I wouldn't have had that opportunity. And I'm grateful for that. But it's more than just, it's when the opportunity presents itself, are you able to maximize the opportunity, and are you prepared, right? Are you prepared, and are you able to put in the work to really enjoy it?
Yeah, that's where it's Oprah, when opportunity meets preparation, honey. That's where success comes from. And I think your story is super inspiring. I think with social media, YouTube, girls, younger girls, like my little cousin's like, I want to sell hair, I want to do hair. She's doing box braids at her house, in her room, charging her friends. And I think, hair is how Black women, we connect, right? Like it's a sacred space. I don't know, what I'm talking about, but like there's something that happens internally when you walk in looking busted and walk out feeling a totally different woman. So you are not only creating hashtags and looks and slays, but experiences through your clients. So I'm glad that you can connect, those moments in the back of a mall, in the back of a hair supply store, to doing Michelle Obama's hair and being literally the topic of conversation of a presidential inauguration. You know what I'm saying? So
so crazy.
So talk to me about the Academy, your program, your 6-week program. Like, tell me what you offer people who are trying to learn from you, because, you can get slayed by her, but you can also learn from her as well. So tell me about that.
You brought up something that I really loved, and you talked about your cousin who is doing box braids from her house. And I think that's how so many people in this industry, women of color, men of color, how they start breaking their skin through understanding what they want to do and really like testing the waters to figuring out, okay, is this something that I want to pursue? And one of the things that I recognize is that in cosmetology school, we don't learn enough about the business side. And one thing that I know is the second you decide to be in a service-based industry, you are opening a business. Whether you are thinking that you're opening a business or you're not, when you are servicing someone, you are a business owner. When you are providing them with a service in exchange for money, you are in business. And unfortunately, there is this gap where we don't really recognize that. And so many people don't understand that we are essential, that we're necessary. People don't recognize the value and these spirit feeding conversations, right, that take place in the hair salon. As hairstylists and barbers, we're therapists, we're friends, we're mentors, we're mentees. Like I like to say that my clients inspire me so much. They teach me so much. And I have poured all that into understanding the trials and the struggles of being a business owner and wanting to teach the next generation. Like my level of success, I am special. I recognize that I'm special, but I am not any more special than you or the next person. Anyone can reach success as long as they put in the work. And there are tools and there's boxes and there's resources, but it's about sharing the resources. In this industry, not a lot of people have shared the resources. So I want to create an open conversation. I want to have open dialogue, and I want to teach the next generation of stylists, like, okay, how do you build this? Are you thinking about properly pricing your services? Are you thinking about, your expenses? Are you thinking about your ideal client? Understanding that not every client is for you and you aren't for every client, right? Because there is this energetic level that we connect on, and really focusing on that. So it's a 12-week, it used to be a 6-week, I've extended it. It's a 12-week business mastermind where we teach everything but technique.
I love that though, because I think it's applicable for any service-based, career path you choose, because I think you made a lot of great points about the fact that when you do service, you're in business. And I think, if people start to look at it from that perspective, especially in the Black community, Black kids are hustlers. We born that way. You know what I mean?
Girl.
So I think that, that mindset, or, that cultivation, or someone being there to guide them through that mentality, it's just a switch. You know what I mean? Literally,
it is
just a switch, and just in learning. So I think it's really dope that you do that. And, listen, I know you got 20,000 emails to get to, so I don't want to hold you up all night. Thank you for your time. So let everybody know, the websites, your social media.
So you could follow along on my journey. My website is yenedamtew.com. You can learn more about the academy at yenedamtew.com/academy. You want to see some videos of me doing hair or some educational information and slayage of my clients, all clients. You can follow me on Instagram at Yene Damtew. Follow the Salon so you can see the slayage of the lovely ladies that work with me at Aesthetics, aesthetics.salon. And you could learn more about our appointments by visiting our website as well. But please, as I said, be patient. We're working through it to get through to everyone.
Yes, and let everybody know also as well where your salons are. Now, you do got to use a wait list, so you just don't walk up in there. It's COVID.
Please don't just walk up in. Girl, it's COVID. We've had people just walk up in here. That's the crazy part, literally. So we're based in, both of my salons are in Arlington, Virginia. They're both on the same block. My goal is to buy the block.
Come on.
Slow and steady. We go buy the block. But yeah, I'm in Arlington, Virginia, right outside of DC, maybe 5 or 10 minutes away from the Pentagon. So right off the highway, we got parking.
Oh, praise
Lovely thing, a luxury a hard thing to find in DC. So we have parking as well.
Yes. Okay. Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking your time out. Again, you slayed our lives. I mean, listen, I need to come to the bank flip, because baby, the way that thing sat, it was
I feel like you're shine in your hair. I'm like, oh, I like this.
Listen, we got a little length going. Okay. But I need a Michelle Obama curl. Okay. That pop.
Everything's been good to you, boo.
Thank you. But yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, boo, for stopping by the lemonade stand and giving us all the lemonade on that look and what you're doing, because I think, you really are out here trying to make space for our girls and boys. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Grab a cup, throw it back, and sip on all of that.